Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of our online sales training video series. My name is Timothy De Jesus and I'm the CEO of Dealer Masters LLC. And today we're going to be talking about the meet and greet. Now, even though this is part 2 of our online training series, this is really part 1 in the sales process. And because this is part 1, we're going to be talking about why it's so important to have a sales process. So let's get right into it. So why is it so important to have a sales process? Well, there are maybe 5 to 10% of people in life that are great at just winging it. And what that means is that they can just make it up as they go. For the rest of us, the 90%, we need to have a sales process. And the reason we need to have a sales process is to keep us on track so we can achieve our goal, which is to make a sale. So what this training series is designed to do is to give you a sales process that you can adhere to in today's car business. So regardless if you're working at a small used car dealer or a large franchise dealership or any size dealership in between, you can be successful as a salesperson in today's car business. So let's talk about the first step in the sales process, which is the meet and greet. Now, why is the meet and greet so important? Well, the meet and greet sets the table for almost the entire negotiation, whether you realize it or not. The reason for that is a bad first impression is hard to come back from. So if you do a proper meet and greet and a good meet and greet, you can establish yourself as a professional early on and put yourself at an advantage. If you do a bad meet and greet, you may not establish yourself as a professional and you can make it difficult for yourself to come back from that. Is it impossible? No, there's been many people who have done poor meet and greets and still made sales. But are you going to close the higher percentage or a lower percentage if you do a proper meet and greet? The answer is you are going to close a higher percentage. What else if you also do a poor meet and greet? Well, the sale may never get off the ground. So if you do a poor meet and greet and the customer loses faith in you right out of the gate, they may never like you and trust you to the point where you get to the point where you can actually present numbers and test drive the vehicle. They might ask for your business card within 10 minutes of meeting you, which is never a good sign. So let's talk about the purpose of the meet and greet. What is the purpose of the meet and greet? Well, it's a few things. So what you want to find out within the meet and greet is the customer's name and what their purpose is. So a good meet and greet, you should introduce yourself in the dealership, find out the customer's name, and find out their purpose for visiting the dealership. Obviously, it's to buy a car, but a car sale can come in many different ways, and it can go in many different directions. I'll give you a couple examples. So the customer may know exactly what they're looking for, or they may not know what they're looking for at all, but they're here because they heard about an offer on the radio. You need to establish why the customer is on your doorstep so that you can figure out the proper way to negotiate the deal. So a proper meet and greet should sound like this. Hi, welcome to Dealer Masters Motors. My name is Timothy, and you are? And when you ask you are, you're asking what the customer's name or names are. The next question should be, are you here for a specific vehicle or are you here for a special offer? Now I'm saying special offer because that's dependent on your dealership. I'll give you a few examples. If you're a new car dealer and you're advertising a $299 a month lease on a car, that may be the offer that you want to ask about. Or if you're a used car dealer, perhaps you're going to ask them if they're here for your guaranteed credit approval program or some version of a credit approval program. Now, when you ask that question, you should get an answer. Either, yes, I was looking at X car, or you'll either get, yes, I was here for your guaranteed credit approval program, or they may say, well, what's that? Now, that doesn't give you an answer, but if they ask what's that, the odds are is that they probably do need help with financing, which is what you want and need to know. So by asking this question, you should be able to determine which way you need to go with the deal. So again, a proper meet and greet should sound like this. Hi, my name is Timothy. Welcome to Dealer Masters Motors. And you are? And you're going to ask them their name. And then after you find out their name, are you here for a specific vehicle or are you here for our special offer? And again, the special offer is going to be dependent on your dealership. Now, what this is supposed to do is lead you into the greet sheet. And we're going to talk about the greet sheet in the next training session. So the next step in the process is to walk them inside and get to the greet sheet, which again is going to be our next training session. However, if the customer gives you resistance, you need to be fluid in your process. What does that mean? That means if the customer says, well, wait a minute, I'm not ready to go inside, you need to be able to dance. And what I mean by dance is you need to be able to stop what you're doing and answer the customer's questions. I've seen other trainings where people talk about being rigid in the process and basically making the customer go inside. And that doesn't work. In today's world, people have too many choices. They have too many options when it comes to dealership and there's too much competition. So you need to be able to be fluid in your process and answer the customer's questions if they're not comfortable to go inside just yet. So after you get the customer to walk inside with you, the next thing you're going to be doing is your greet sheet. Now you're probably asking by now, what is this greet sheet he keeps talking about? Don't worry, we're going to get into that in the very next training session, so stay tuned. The greet sheet is arguably the most important part of the sales process. So we're going to talk about this a great deal in the next training session, and it's imperative that you get it right. So let's recap. So what do we want to do in the meet and greet? We want to do 4 things. First, we want to introduce ourselves. Second, we want to introduce the dealership. Third, we want to find out the customer's names. And fourth, we want to find out what the customer's purpose is for visiting the dealership. Now, if you do these 4 things, you'll start to establish yourself as a professional, and you'll also gain vital information that's going to help you in making the sale. So that concludes our meet and greet training session. If you like what you saw here, there'll be plenty more of the sales training series up ahead. And also, please like and subscribe to Dealer Masters LLC on YouTube. There's going to be a lot of content even after the sales training video series is done. So stay tuned. I appreciate you watching this. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.